This is the Moss Jellyfish under the pretty lights on the table here. Just giving you a little breakdown of the things we always do on the table. Moss is the original snow surf. They've been around forever. And you can just see that in the shape of this board. Being a surfer myself, can really appreciate rides like these. Snowboarding is not surfing. There are elements of each, but it's the closest I've felt riding boards like these and like Gentem and a few others to actually getting close to surfing on snow. And it's really fun, unique thing here. You can see it's got a very unique camber profile that has a little micro camber off the back foot. It then seems to go to a lot of flat and then mellow early rise before the nose begins. Kind of reminds me of an old board I loved, the Burton Barracuda, but that had more of a rocker here that just kept going and a very mellow camber that was off the snow, so it actually rocked. If you laid it down on a table like this, it would rock, where this barely, you know, you weight this tail, this barely lifts up here. This has a more stable profile. This was one of our favorite boards of the Moss line to ride. We really had a good time on this, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give you the widths over the back and front insert pack here. Wow, you're looking pretty wide here. You're looking at almost 28.5, like 28.4. And then up here, you're looking at, probably about 27.8. And then up front, you've got about 27.6 and about 28.3, 28.2. Got a good width under there, and it's very, very wide waist, very wide board. If you want to talk about set back on board and float and powder, we rode this in a little powder, really good float. Definitely up there in the upper end of float, so this is great carving groomers, and it's very Moss style carving, very slow, very deliberate, very practiced, very careful, very beautiful. It's kind of how you want to approach riding this board. Very narrow, very directional. But when we got it in powder, it had no problem wherever we were. And we got it in decent powder. But if you want to set this all the way back on board with traditional disc bindings, there's not a lot of stance width options here. You're just looking at 5 in the front and 5 in the back. But if you set it all the way back, you can get to 21.25 inches stance width. And then from nose to here and tail to here, you're looking, and that's not even from here. I just thought, let's just go all the way back to the tail like we do with most boards. That's a 15.25 inch difference between nose and tail. That's just massive. Probably 7.625 set back on board, which is really far. It's a really off the tail ride like you do when you're surfing. It really felt surfy and fun to me, but mellow and forgiving. And you've got that structured Moss base that has amazing glide. It's very easy to repair, but all in all, it's always fun. It's just like you're riding a bit of history as you surf snow. So there's the Jellyfish under the pretty lights.